Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Cade, joined by Andrew, and today we have a brand new episode of the Creatives in Depth podcast. And today we are joined by a returning guest for the channel, but also a brand new guest for this brand new series. And that guest is none other than Myka Gutierrez, aka Lost Girl Mika Chu. Mika, thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, to start this off, the first question we wanted to ask you was for you as an aspiring actress, do you remember the moment that really sparked your interest and just passion to become one?
Yeah, so when I grew up, I would always like put on shows for my family and stuff like that. So when I was in my very first musical in high school, that really got me thinking about becoming an actress in either theater or film and television. And I was in Seussical, I was a bird girl. So that was my first, I would say, spark of interest.
So would you say that this is something you always wanted to do was be an actress?
Yeah, uh-huh, of course. Growing up, again, I would put on like recreate scenes from my favorite movies for family members. I know there was a couple times in life where I thought that I wanted to be like a dolphin trainer or do special effects makeup for behind the scenes, but I always come back to performing.
Very nice. Is there a particular role in some adaptation that you would really, really love to play at some point, such as a musical adaptation or just some character?
I think right now I would love to be Veronica from the Heathers, the musical. I watched the movie with Winona Ryder when I was in high school, right before the musical actually came out, and she's right in my vocal range, and I think it would just be so much fun to play. So if they did a movie adaptation of that musical, I would want to be right there.
I can definitely see you playing that.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm also curious, so for you as an actor, what is it about the process that you find most exciting and rewarding? And also, do you enjoy any behind the scenes aspects of filmmaking?
I think rehearsals honestly are the most exciting because you're working and you're practicing with fellow actors that you all are collectively perfecting your craft for this big show or multiple shows. You're making mistakes, but you're seeing everyone get back up and continue trying. And that I think really pushes me to do my best as well when I see fellow actors that I look up to, or I see so much talent in one room and they have their bad days as well. Just get up and go through just so that we put on the best performance that we can. And then seeing from outside perspectives, like that show or gig that once it all comes together, that motivates me to do better. And if, especially recording it too, if I see recordings, I'll look at it and kind of critique here and there, but I'll still be proud of what I've done.
Well, and also, when it comes to the very first time that you acted in any project, maybe film related, what was it and what was your experience like acting on screen for the first time? And also, are you proud of your performance today when you look back at it?
So there are two times that I've been on screen. One was for a small YouTube channel. It was a kids channel, a Christian kids channel that wanted princesses. And I do princess parties on the weekends, and they booked me through a company, and then they wanted me to come back. And so I did a little bit with them of like reviewing toys and doing little skits with these girls. And then the second major, I would say, film project that I did was a couple summers ago. I got to work with Netflix for advertising their animated film, The Sea Beast. That one had real cameras, real mics, real trailers, mini scripts. We were walking around the Santa Monica Pier interacting with people on the beach and children taking pictures. It was very much like working live performance and performance events, similar to like characters you'd see at Disney or Universal, just with we were always in character, just with fancy cameras and mics. I'm still really proud of both of those projects today. I am a little disappointed that just about everything we filmed for that Sea Beast advertisement, all the lines were pretty much cut from the little advertisement that was posted. I am in it and I'm really proud of that, but I wish that they were able to put all the other little skits and stuff that we did.
Yeah, some of the cutting room floor stuff can be a bit ruthless.
That's Hollywood for you.
Yeah, but looking back on your career so far, has there been any actors or actresses who you say inspires you the most?
I would say I've always looked up to like Winona Ryder, her work. I've always been a huge Tim Burton fan, and especially right now, spooky season. I've been rewatching a lot of her movies and Tim Burton's, Johnny Depp as well. I look up to both of those actors, and I want to be able to have that kind of diversity of characters, be able to be given a character and roll with it. And because I remember growing up not realizing that Jack Sparrow was Johnny Depp or Willy Wonka. Like he's got so many characters that have completely different personalities and mannerisms and their characters themselves that you don't realize it's the same actor.
In your opinion, what's the like best and most rewarding aspects of filmmaking as a collaborative process?
I think it's just working with other actors. I love being able to work with fellow actors, friends that are acting with me, playing off of each other's energy, connecting through characters. You really get to play with each other's strengths and weaknesses. The director also is extremely important. So having a director that understands how you act, I think working with directors for the first time is the most terrifying process because you don't know how they don't know how you are. And towards the end of the show, they know how you are. So when you go and you do another show with them, they already know how you are. They know your range. They know what you can do, and you know how they are going to want to see things. I think that makes it a lot easier and a lot more fun too.
Do you have a favorite collaboration you've done so far in your career?
We do a show for a client every spring. My company and my boss Brandon is our director, and he is extremely creative. We did a mini show, a Deadpool themed show that if you haven't seen the new Deadpool, I apologize, but it was very much like the ending of it. And we did that earlier in spring before anybody knew. There were no leaks, anything like that. So being able to go into the theaters and be like, we did this exact like skit, we did this show. He's very, very multi-talented, and being able to work with all of my closest friends during that time as well. It's like being, we call it the frat house because it's like being in a sorority frat house with all of your nerdy actor friends for a good couple of weeks. And that is the most fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm curious, so looking back, what have been some of your fondest memories from learning how to be an actress? And this can relate to maybe any projects that you've worked on over the years, or maybe any teachers or fellow actors that you've gotten to work with.
Yeah, one of my professors that really stands out to me is Professor Buick at my community college. He taught me that acting is reacting and reacting to not only your environment and your fellow actors, but also the script. He was always so encouraging and helpful. The way he taught stage stunts, he taught breath work, he taught acting techniques itself. But he wasn't aggressive about like giving notes as some other professors or acting coaches and teachers I've had can be. He was very much blunt. He'll give you your strengths and your weaknesses and help and give you tools to play off of both of your strengths and weaknesses, what you need to do. He never made us feel like self-conscious or embarrassed. And he motivated me to continue with acting because there was a point in time when I was at school that I was thinking I didn't know if I had the talents or the tools to be able to continue down the path of acting. But he encouraged me to continue going and could see me out in Hollywood, stuff like that. And I thought that was really great. And my boss as well, Brandon, has helped me in a very similar ways. He pushes me when he knows that I can do better. But then there are days where we just need a rest, and he will accept that. And there, especially during some rehearsals where it's super late, he doesn't expect my all at that time. But as soon as the camera turns on, or as soon as we walk out there, we're on, it's 110%.
In all of your experiences as an actor, has there ever been any big struggles that you've had to overcome to get to where you are now? And what are they, if so?
Yeah, auditioning. Auditioning makes me extremely nervous even to this day. It's one of the biggest things that has held me back from being in shows and other events. Social media is also, it's like a double-edged sword. You get the very encouraging comments and fans that want you to do more, want you to do certain characters, but then you get those days where I'm very self-conscious on when I'm filming how I look, having to refilm something 20 times just because I didn't like the way that I articulated the words for a TikTok or something like that. That has been a huge struggle of mine as well. But just I have to constantly remind myself that I just need to have fun and not care as much about how I look or what stupid face I make. It's about the feeling and the effort and energy I put behind that because there are going to be days that I look better or feel better than others, but I just have to, push through that and even if it feels awkward and I hate it, I still have to do it.
So, in a similar vein, would you say the audition process is the most difficult part of acting in general, or is there another aspect you would say was even worse than that?
Oh yeah. For me, auditioning is the absolute worst. It that has deterred me from auditioning for shows, for many shows, and it's something that it's a goal of mine for the upcoming, well, from now and the upcoming years is to just do it. I have things prepared for not just about everything, but I for most shows that I would want to be in. So I just need to trust that I have it down. And even if I mess up, show them that I can do it with my personality or something. But yeah, I absolutely hate auditioning.
Well, and just to add on to that, I've heard some actors say that the self-tape is a really terrible process. Do you agree with that?
I have done one self tape. Oh, I've done two self tapes before, and it's extremely difficult if you don't have somebody reading the other line, because then you have to memorize both lines, and you don't have anybody that, like, if you have somebody reading for you, they may or may not be a fellow actor, so they may or may not have notes. But if they're not a fellow actor and they're reading these lines, and you're really trying to play off of them. And if they don't have notes or they're not giving you anything, it just is, it's terrifying. It's similar to filming TikToks, to be honest, where I film it and I show friends and family. I'm like, was this good? Did you like this? Should I refilm this? What do you think about this? Because you want to have that kind of reaction there, or else it's like talking to a brick wall.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean, but I'm just curious. So, when it comes to acting and just the process of being creative, does creativity ever help you when you're in a bad place? Specifically, has there ever been one specific time in your life where acting and creativity really helped you?
Yeah, there are days, like I had said before, that you've got your good days and your bad days. Some days I don't really want to get up. I don't feel good. I don't, whatever mentally, physically is going on, and I just don't want to go to work or I don't want to perform. But once you're there, you push through those bad feelings. Once you're there and you put the costume on and you perform, you see those people smiling, you get into it. It helps me push through it. And other days where you're not having the worst horrible day, but you're just not having a day where you want to get too into it. It can help you with how you, what's the word, show yourself to like acquaintances, like going to school. If I'm having a bad day and I really don't want my student acquaintances that are sitting around me that talk to me every day to know, being able to kind of put on a face helps, though I don't like doing that because it feels very fake, but some days you have to.
No, that's completely understandable. And I definitely get where you're coming from, actually, on that one. So, looking back on everything you've been involved with, and obviously at this point, you still think you're very early in your career. Again, hopefully a very long, successful one. What are some of the projects that you've been involved with that you'd say you're most proud of at this point?
I don't think that there's a single project that I could say that I'm absolutely most proud of. I put my heart into every single one, so I don't really have a favorite. There have been a bunch of like little projects that I've done that I forget that I've done because they're not super big, or they were just like the Princess YouTube channel. It was a couple small videos here and there. And I'll remember those experiences, but I don't always remember that as a project because I was having so much fun with these girls. And a couple of them still talk to me to this day. And, they're graduated out of high school and sending me pictures of their prom dresses and stuff. And so I like doing stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have a single set project. I like doing the event that we do every spring. It's very fun, but yeah.
Well, I feel like I already know the answer to this question because you don't seem like this kind of negative person. But is there any project you maybe not quite so proud of? Maybe it just didn't go so well or wasn't a great experience or just anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I wish that I was able to do more when I was doing the advertisement for Netflix. I don't regret it, and it wasn't a bad experience, but I mean, that's Hollywood. They're going to cut 90% of what you do and then keep the one thing that you weren't sure if they actually got on camera or they wanted. But I think that my most regret right now is not trying out for shows that I really want to be in. So I need to try out and audition more.
Yeah, I completely get what you mean. But actually, just going back to something, you kind of answered this earlier, but I just wanted to go a little further with this. So, if you did have the opportunity, what would be your dream role and what movie or show would you want to be in and why?
Oh, I think that I would love to be in a pirate film. I think that that would be a very full circle moment for me, whether it's Pirates 45 or whatever, from years from now. I think that being in like a historical, semi-historical pirate film would be so much fun. That or like I had said before, Heather's the musical. That'd be really, really fun for me. I want to do as much as I can, to be honest.
Yeah, and just to wrap this up with our last two questions, looking back on everything that you've been through as an aspiring young actress, would you say that acting is not just what you want to do with your life, but do you think it's also what you're meant to do with your life also?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if there's any one thing that I am 100% meant to do. It feels like at times that I'm being tugged towards multiple different directions of careers that I want to do or want to try out. But I will say that I always end up coming back to acting and performing. So whether it's something that I'm meant to do or it's just something that makes me feel the most alive and have the most fun in my career, I think that acting is going to be it.
I mean, sometimes and it definitely seems like life's giving you a pretty big sign there. So for our last question here, just any advice for other actors out there based on your own experiences or people who are maybe thinking about pursuing acting?
Don't stop trying. Push past your boundaries. Start today, not tomorrow. Keep learning. Learn everything that you can. Don't let your ego destroy you. If anything, we all have an ego, especially actors. Every single one of us has an ego, but use it to your advantage more than not. I would say in a good way. Also, use your advantages and your disadvantages. Use your strengths and your weaknesses to your favor and do what scares you because in the end, it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, totally
It's a
agree.
very good way of putting it, actually.
All right, guys, I think that that's the end of this episode. Real quick, don't forget to check out Mika's content. We will leave links in the description. Mika, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely. Great to have you back. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you later.